Yo, this is a common question I see circulating heavy. Can you be too old for rap? And a lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's a young man's game. It's a young man's game." Let me break this down. I gotta break this down. You know what I mean? And people still gonna argue me to death. I don't really care. Niggas can live in their imaginations all you want. First off, rap is not basketball or football. These two different things. The longer you stay in there, the more prone you are to injury, the more wear and tear you absorb. Rap, unless you constantly touring it, which you do not have to make money in rap, but unless you constantly touring, you're not taking on any crazy wear and tear. You know what I mean? So now this whole another thing they always say, "Oh, you're not rapping about cool shit. You're not in the mix." You know what I mean? There's plenty of grown men who want to hear grown men shit. I don't, you know what I mean? Me personally, I'm not bashing nobody who do it, but I don't want flare out pants. You feel me? Like, to me, I feel crazy. I feel too grown for that. But, you know what I mean? Bless up to anybody who does that, but that's not for me. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. My son Nas made a song about his daughter, you feel me? And a lot of niggas with daughters felt that. So like, let's cut it out. Like niggas turn 40 years old and don't listen to rap music no more. Like where does that narrative come from? Let's make sense. So now, the main thing I want to talk about is the fact that record labels get behind young dudes because they're usually easiest to coach. Not the easiest, but they'll listen more so if you flash the right things in front of them. So they not worried about they publishing and they masters, which is the real long-term money. A young boy not thinking super young term. He happy to be out the hood and get show money. So if he's making 20K a show and he got all the bitches on his dick, he got his videos in heavy circulation, mad views, my son is hype. Meanwhile, the executives own all the rights to his music. So 10 years down the line, they still getting paid, and when his shows is not as valuable, now he asked out because he not making no bread off of his masters. You see what I'm saying? I said this already. The narrative that it's a young man's game. No, the young men are propped in the front and promoted in the front. That's what's going on. They are pushed to the forefront while losing in the background. Not all of them, but that's mostly what happens. They're too young. They're only focused on rapping, bitches, and money. They're not thinking about intellectual property. They're not thinking about legacy. They're not on top of their business because they're too young to even have time to study that. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a young man's game. They just appear to be winning in the forefront while losing in the background. So let's cut this out. Another thing, grown men have more experience, perspective, and knowledge. When you young, yeah, you just want to hear about fucking bitches and getting top and stuff. But now, it's like, okay, you're gonna grow older too. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not sharing genuine experiences about getting older and touching on different things that you could only touch on from being older and going through shit, you know what I mean? This shit don't make sense, my boy. I don't want to just keep it like, oh, it's not a young man's game. I do want to speak about things like the reason the older heads, basically the reason some older heads is going to flop out is because, one, they not taking care of themselves. If your body getting decrepit, I ain't gonna lie, I got mad fat, I'm working on it. But if your body is all out of shape, you can't go up a flight of stairs, how you gonna do these shows? How you gonna pop out to these events? You know what I mean? How you got mad content to shoot? So I understand, but realistically, they took themselves out. This nigga Method Man is like 54, still barring niggas down, still doing shows, still acting. So it's really about, you know what I mean, take care of yourself. Make sure you exercising. Make sure you doing your juices. You know what I mean? Another thing is the old dudes take themselves out because what they'll do is they'll hate on the younger dudes who are doing better. You know what I mean? Like the younger dude is in a new a new fresh community. Like I said, them labels come in and OD push them to the forefront. And the older dudes, you know what I mean, you might be older and you only getting a certain amount of views, you only getting a certain amount of bookings and at a certain price, and you feel like it's not fair. But at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is start hating on the young boys. You know what I'm saying? And that makes you look corny, that makes you look bitter. And it's you kind of like pushing yourself out of style. You see what I'm saying? That's how an older dude cooks himself. Then they be stuck in their ways, trying to do things that worked 20 years ago but don't work no more. It's like, yo, we not doing that no more. I'm not saying you gotta do some super new goofy shit. I'm saying find the new tactics and then insert yourself within that in the way that you being genuine to yourself, but you still implementing the new shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, this makes sense to me. This makes sense to me. You know what I mean? And the last drink, niggas don't be honing their pen. Niggas don't be honing their pen. Niggas get older, they start popping out to all the, you know what I mean, going on mad vacations, popping out to the older folks' parties, making a song here and there. Niggas don't keep their pen sharp. Niggas don't keep their clip full. I understand you gotta take care of business, you gotta take care of kids, all types of family stuff, but your pen game gotta stay immaculate, my boy. If you trying to keep up, you know what I mean? So let's you know what I mean? To me, it's never been a young man's game. This is a lifelong career. If I stay in shape, do my juicing, exercise, oh yeah, put that shit on. Make sure I put that shit on. I make sure I put that shit on. It's on some, you can't tell me I'm old, I'm out of style. You feel me? You can't tell me nothing. My pen game sharp. I can still run laps. I'm still putting that shit on. But on top of all of that, I got the business down. I got life experience. I got wisdom. Come on, that's a recipe for success. That's a recipe for greatness. So, the final joint I want to speak on is, I think the main thing that defeats older rappers is niggas be weak-minded. Niggas let people calling them old and making fun of them make them give up or fall back. You know what I mean? My foot is on the gas, my boy. My foot is on the gas. I'm 40. My foot is on the gas though. You see what I'm saying? Like, so to me, it's like, why would a label want to sign somebody who's very intelligent in the business? So they're gonna pull up and be like, oh nah, he's not giving up his masters for life. Cause they know you trying to keep that for your kids. You trying to build legacy. They want bread. You feel me? So the narrative of, yo, it's a young man's game, it's not. It's not. The fucking old dudes is winning in the background. You feel me? Once you understand the fundamentals of business, you apply that to rap. You understand the fundamentals of business and then you apply that to rap and you good. You may not be the most famous, you're not gonna be the most lit, but you gonna make bread and put out bars. You feel me? That's what this shit come down to. All that, you too old nigga, fuck that nigga. I'm gonna be 80 with my mixtape dropping.